Welcome to the cash discounting video on understanding receipts. There's a lot of options on these receipts, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, you want to tap on setup. Again, you can do this setup from the web if you'd like. All these options are available on the web, and you can access that from the view reports section. And then, but let's go ahead and get going here. Okay, so what you want to do first of all is there's two sections: receipt tip suggestions and receipt content. Look at the receipt content section first. Okay. First of all, you can add custom text to the bottom of the receipts, okay? And so whatever you print there, you can use this to say, have a nice day, or you can do something like bring this receipt in for your next visit for 10% off. You know, you can have some type of sale proposition if you want to add it, okay? Credit, cash, and dual, you probably want to check all three of these. What this means is that the credit receipt is we'll show all the credit prices, and at the bottom we'll have a cash total and a credit total. The cash receipt means we'll show all the cash prices, and at the bottom we'll have the credit total and the cash total. This cash receipt is useful especially in restaurants. If they've already published their prices, then they don't want to get a lot of questions about why the prices don't match. And so if they print out this cash receipt, they can see the original cash prices on the receipt, and at the bottom they'll see the credit price and the cash price. So it is useful as an option. The dual receipt will print two columns all the way down the receipt. There'll be a cash price and a credit price all the way down the receipt. Okay, the name of the credit price is chosen right here under credit label. Okay, so you can call it regular price, or card price is a real common name for that also. Okay, so that's what these three options do. Now, I do want to distinguish, these are options for the order receipts. Okay, Clover has an order receipt and a payment receipt. Okay, the order receipt is the receipt you give a customer before they actually make the payment. The payment receipt would be the receipt that the customer receives after they make a payment. Now, after they make a payment, they don't really care about the card price or the cash price. They've already made the payment, okay? But just in case you need to print the cash price and the credit price on the payment receipt, we do have this option right here, okay? So what that's going to do is it is going to print the card total and the credit total on the bottom. This is useful maybe for like the sale app, where you just want to disclose why they paid more than what they said. Again, you don't necessarily need it because we do cover the order receipts with our own custom order receipts, okay? And that's really important. Now, one other option here is the Clover order bill. This is useful because there are some instances where you're on the dining app. I'm going to go ahead and show you this, okay? So you're on the dining app, and what you can do when you're on the dining app is you can tap this button right here. See, it says print bill right here, okay? Now, when you print this bill, this is going to print the native Clover order receipt instead of our receipt. And if you use that, then you can print the extra tip suggestions and the extra card total and the cash total at the bottom of that receipt if you check this option right here, okay? You don't normally need to use it because, again, we have our own custom receipts. I'm going to show you how to work with all those here in a minute, okay, as far as how to print them out, because a lot of times you want to print the order receipt before hitting the pay button. So we have some options for you to be able to do that, okay? This option right here, skip viewing. Normally, if you use our print options, we're going to show you the receipt on the screen first. But sometimes if you want to skip an extra step, or the merchant wants to skip an extra step, you can do skip viewing and it'll directly print without showing it on the screen. Okay, that's what this is for. Now, Clover order barcode, again, on the order receipt, if you check this, this is going to print the order barcode at the bottom. This is useful mainly because some restaurants will, the waiter will take the order, but then they'll pay up front. Like one person will do the payout up front. This will print the barcode at the bottom so that the person up front can scan it, pull up the order, and take care of the payment. One other thing is if you do use the order barcode, it's a little feature. If you use the cash discounting app, we will attribute the tip to the employee that took the order instead of normally what Clover does is attribute the tip to the employee that took the payment. So if people are paying up front, then that gets kind of sticky about who gets the tip and everything. Now, if you use cash discounting, what we do in our report, again, only our report under our view reporting, right here, view and then reporting, under our reports, we will attribute the tip to the employee that took the order, not to the employee that paid the order. Okay, so it's a kind of a useful feature if they use our reporting. The QR code, this is only useful if that particular merchant is using the the pay QR code that's being printed on their receipt. If they're using that feature, then this will mimic the same QR code on the order receipt. Okay. A lot of people don't like this feature, but if you use it, then this would mimic it on the order receipt for you. Okay. So that's all the features there. Let me show you the usage of it. Okay. So you tap on the register, let's say, for example. Okay. And when you're taking an order, see there's a new button here. It's called print options and it's a category. Okay. And if you don't see this category, you can tap on the register. Okay. You can tap on register display. Make sure you choose the categories and items view, because what that'll do is that'll make sure that the categories are shown as well as the items on the register. Okay. And this is a category we've created. You want to move this to the very top of the register. It'll also appear at the top of the dining app. The way you move it to the top is you tap on the inventory app, and on the inventory app, you tap on categories. See, it'll let you move your categories, and you want to move the print options all the way to the top. Okay. So when you do that again, then when you're on the register, print options will be at the top, which means it'll be easy to find. Okay. So what it'll do is, let's say you add some items on your order. You can tap print options, and let's say you tap print order, okay? And what it's going to do, see right here, we didn't skip the viewing on the screen, but if you had, it would print directly. See, it's showing you the cash price and the card price, and it's showing you the suggested tips, and at the bottom, it's got the order barcode and the pay code, okay? That's because we chose all of those options. Again, you could remove this order barcode and you can remove this pay code at the bottom if you'd like. You can also remove these suggested tips, if you're not a restaurant. In this case, we were using the merchant tips, and we're going to explain more about the tips. And there's the extra line at the bottom too. Okay. So all that's available. Now, this is available before hitting the pay button, which is very useful because a lot of times a waiter doesn't feel comfortable hitting pay because the customer is not wanting to pay. So they can access these buttons. If you hit the cash button, cash order, see again, what we did is we printed the original cash prices, and this will match what, again, if they pre-printed their menu, for example, then this will match the prices under menu. And at the bottom, we still give them the card total and the cash total along with the tips. Now, in this case, I'll talk more about the tips, but we only chose to print cash or credit tips. You could have chosen to print cash and credit tips, and they would both appear on this receipt as well. Okay. So same thing, if you print just the credit order, you're going to see all the card prices and the card tip, and at the bottom, you still have the cash total and the card total. Okay. Again, all this is accessible without actually having to hit this pay button. But if you hit the pay button, because maybe you don't need these, then when you tap the pay button, you still have the option to hit the cash order right here. You can print the cash order receipt right there. Or you can hit that if you go and choose the various receipts right here. Then let's go ahead and just choose the cash and the credit. See right here, choose cash and credit. There. Now, when you go to make a payment, you're going to see a cash button and a credit button, and you can print that way instead. Now, these are print buttons that are available after hitting the pay button. Okay, so it just depends on the need that the merchant has. If you want to print the order before hitting the pay button, use the print options. Okay, if you want to print the order after hitting the pay button, you still have that available real quickly. Print credit order, print cash order. Okay, so both those are available, and that's how you would take care of all of your payments. Okay, next, let me go ahead and show you the various tip suggestion options. Okay, so what you can do here is you can choose on the tip suggestions. You can choose if you're going to use the merchant tip suggestions. Now, if you use the merchant tip suggestions, and if you have a flat amount chosen, we'll treat that flat amount as a minimum tip. Okay, so you can use the merchant tip suggestions and set a flat amount also. And if the tip suggestion is less than the flat amount, we'll use the flat amount. Okay, you can choose if they appear low to high or high to low if it's not chosen. And then if you use merchant tip suggestions, we'll ignore this. This is our own tip suggestions if you're going to use them. And then here's if you can choose the cash option or the credit option. Okay, so you can choose to display both tip suggestions if you like on there.